The Real Show is brought to you by UCS Facility Management Limited, Omni Basic Bank, and Dewdrop Hand Sanitizer.
Welcome to The Real Show. Now, I have two super women, like I said, in the studios with me, and I cannot wait to kickstart the conversation. But let's have a look at this video.
According to the World Health Organization, child sexual abuse is the involvement of a child in sexual activity that he or she does not fully comprehend, is unable to give informed consent to, or for which the child is not developmentally prepared and cannot give consent, or that violates the laws or social taboos of society. It can happen between a child and an adult or another child who by age or development is in a relationship of responsibility, trust, or power. It is mostly intended to gratify or satisfy the needs of the other person. These may include inducement of a child to engage in any unlawful sexual activity, the exploitative use of a child in prostitution or other unlawful sexual practices, the exploitative use of children in pornographic performance and materials. A lot of victims are living with this canker and they hardly talk about them, thereby causing pains to themselves. Some of the side effects these victims are living with as adults are unpredictable emotions and strained relationships, physical symptoms such as headaches or nausea, hypersexuality, promiscuity, post-traumatic stress disorder, low self-esteem, multiple sexual partners, over and under attachment, eating disorder, depression, nightmares, suicidal thoughts, and self-mutilation. A foundation known as the Survivors' Diaries is driving this cause. They focus on supporting and educating adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse who never had the healing and support they needed from family or society and are battling with the side effects of the abuse. Dolores Prentice is a survivor and the founder of Survivors' Diaries. Alongside Dolores is Abigail Asante Abedi, who are here to share their stories. Welcome these brave women to the Real Show Studios.
Abigail is Dolores.
I'm Dolores.
You're Dolores and she's Abigail. Now, we're about to have an amazing time. You look beautiful, by the way, and I love the smiles.
You.
I am amazed about, the whole journey and what you're doing. But let's start with your experience. How did it even start in the first place for you? And how old were you?
I was about 8 years old, all the way to when I was 13 years old. And mine started with coercion. Yeah, so buying gifts, making the person feel special, telling the person how they are your best friend, and single the person out among their siblings or friends, and then giving them gifts so that they feel like they are yours. So that's how mine started. Yes.
Well, how about you? How did it start for you?
Mine started at the age of 15 years. By then, I wasn't good in mathematics, so I told my daddy that I'm not good in mathematics. And then he asked me, I told him I have a teacher who would help me with my mathematics. And then he asked me to bring the man. He was so calm, so say, you didn't even think that this man can even go, and then he would even do such thing to me. So he came, the first day, it was vacation. So the first day, it was Monday, and then he came. He came around 10 o'clock, but I've already taken my bath, and then I was okay, and then we did the classes. So the second day he came around. When he came around, it came around 8 o'clock, which I was like, hey, today they came, yes, you came early, and then he said, oh, okay. He came early because he'll be going to a place. So I took it cool, and then we also had a class, did everything, and everything was okay. So the third day he came around, when he came around, it was early in the morning, 6 o'clock. I have not even taken my bath, not even taken my paste. And then he was like, you can go and take a bath. He was waiting for me at the hall. He waited for me. After taking my bath, when I came back, I was in my mom's bedroom, and then he said he needed water. And then I told him to go for the water. I showed him the way to the water. And then he came back with the water, 2 water, that I should take 1, so that he also take 1. I was like, oh, how? So I quickly, when he came in, I was naked. I quickly take my clothes and then cover myself. And he was like, oh, I should take the water. So, and I told him, I'm not ready for water. There's early morning there. I'm not ready for water. And then he went, thinking that he's gone. And then my back was showing him. So not knowing he wasn't gone. And then he had the sexual abuse with me. So
How old were you by then?
15 years old.
Okay. I mean, this is very sad. Do you recall how you felt at first touch?
Okay, for me, I don't remember the first time it happened because at some point I lost my memory, and it only came back when I was after SS, when I was home resting and waiting for my results. So that was when I started having the flashbacks. But if you don't mind, I can share one with you. There was one that...
Wait, are you trying to say there's been multiple times?
Yes, please. It was multiple times with different relatives, not just one person.
Blood relatives?
Yes, please. Yeah, so...
Goodness.
And there was one instance, you know, back then you have, you're living in your grandma's home, and then you have your bathroom outside. So when you're going to bath, you have to take a cloth and then cover the place and then take your bath. And one day I went to bath, and then my relative came in, and you know the place is not covered. So and then just put me down on the floor and then did whatever he wanted to do with me. Yeah. Yeah. So
wait, who is this relative? Your sibling?
Yeah. No, it's a cousin of mine.
And
yes.
So how did things go on from there? What did anybody do?
No, nobody. I didn't tell initially because, like I said, it was coercion. The person makes you feel that you're special. You know, it's called grooming. So you groom the person
your mind.
to, yeah, like you're my special cousin. You deserve everything. You know, when you're playing games, even though you know you lost, the person is going to make sure that everybody rallies around you, that you're the winner. So you feel like, okay, I'm special to this person. So when the person is doing it, it's difficult for you to tell on the person because the person has groomed you enough to be able to keep that secret, that it's our little secret, don't tell anybody. Yeah, so that is how it was for me. And
wow,
it wasn't a good experience at all.
No,
because most of the time I get so scared. And sometimes I even freeze. So when the act is going on, I kind of like take myself out of there. It's like, it's not happening to me. So you should do whatever he wants to do and then just go. Yeah.
Goodness. Would these people live after that? Because, I mean, if I had my own way, we would probably have to fire you like a firing squad and you just die. Because you have no right to take over anybody's body.
Yes.
No one has the right over another human being's body to do what they want. And, you know, it's usually alleged that these things happen from relatives, people that are close to us, different relatives, neighbors, you know, people that are around us. Was that the case for you as well, Abigail?
No, this one was my teacher. This man was my teacher who teaches around, I think he came to do his national service. Yeah,
so he doesn't live around?
He came to live around by then. So later when my dad asked me to take him to the place, he wasn't around. He has packed up his things. He wasn't going. We couldn't find him. And then we went back to the school. When we got to the school, we couldn't find him. Even asked the proprietor. And then he said he has not seen the whole of the week. So we had to keep it to ourselves. I was feeling shy to say it out. My daddy too was feeling shy. We couldn't say it out, so we have to keep it to ourselves.
But you were able to tell your father?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to, you know, keep it professional and just go through the whole thing. But it's still it's not easy to just talk about this on TV and share the experience and go away. Because I keep thinking, what if I'm in your position?
Yeah.
You know, do you feel like sometimes there may have been red flags before, like you're saying, they were conditioning you? Some of the things, red flags you think could have, you know, alerted you, but you didn't know that was what it would lead to. Yeah. But now that you have, you know, your foundation going on and all that, creating awareness for people to, you know, try and prevent that in the first place, what are some of the red flags you think from your experience, if you knew before, you could have even pointed out to alert yourself about, so that my viewers who are watching, anybody can also learn from it and even prevent it in the first place?
Okay, so for my case like this, if I gather the courage to like tell people, if I was like, I had a family that was like, okay, grooming me as well as the person was also grooming me, because the parents are supposed to groom the child to let them know these are your body parts, this is this is your vagina, or this is your breast. So if the parent is also grooming the child, then whatever the person is grooming the child on, the child is able to tell the parents. And for me, I only told once. Yes, and when we are doing our child safety lessons, when we go to schools doing our child safety lessons, I always tell the children that you should get safe adults. So we try to, for the parents out there, they can learn something. It's easy to do the child safety, the safe adult plan with the child. Try to explain to them who a safe adult is, and then take an A4 sheet, just pull your palm on it and draw out your fingers, you know, with your child, and then with every finger write a name of a safe adult. So the parents can also check with the child that, you know, you are the parents, you know that Uncle A is not a good safe adult for your child. So when you talk to the child about it, it's like, why are you choosing Uncle A as your safe adult? You can easily tell the child that, no, I prefer you choose this person. And when you have those conversations with the children, you're able to find out if somebody, one of the uncles that you, the parent, think, or the aunties that you think that will be a safe adult, is not. The child is able to tell you that, no, I don't like this person. Why don't you like this person? Then the child can come out. So you create safe adults for the child, so that anything that happens to the child is able to speak out. If I had safe adults I could go to, maybe when it started, I would have quickly gone to them and tell them that this is what this person did to me. And then it would have stopped from the onset. Yes.
What would you add to that, please?
I don't know. What I will also say is that, as in a safe adult, as she said, that we should use, like, as in the fingers, that you can tell who a safe adult is. I think that is the best way for the parents out there to take good care of their children, and then tell them, or let them show you, and then tell them there is a safe adult, and then there's not a safe adult. That is what I can say about it.
But in your case, you know, you mentioned that your teacher seemed very calm and safe, and we're in a very pretentious world. You know, some people look like they are the ones that would die for you, and you never know. Probably they are the ones that have the knife at the back. So really, it's just a precaution. But I think they should have their eyes on the kids.
Yes.
Because he told me that he was the one who brought the idea that I'm not good in mathematics, so he would like to teach me. He was the one who brought the idea, and then I went home to tell my dad. If I knew he was that type, I think I wouldn't even go.
How would you know? How? It's not on anybody's forehead, you know.
Yes.
There are fathers raping their daughters, and they are the #1 safe adults for the kids. Who better to keep your child safe than your own mother or father? Do you get it? But even in those cases, we have it happening. So I think that we should just know danger is around. Anything can happen to anybody, and we should just watch ourselves. But of course, we have to apply some of the safety measures you're talking about. And what about boundaries? For instance, there are children that are raised with the thought that people shouldn't enter their room. You know, so the moment you start entering, you try to enter their room, even if there's nothing bad in your mind or there's no red flag anywhere, the child is going to challenge, saying, "Mommy, this person wants to enter my room," you know,
that's
casually.
good.
Yeah.
And then I have a niece who would go like, "Mommy says never take off your clothes." So then when you take off your clothes, they all start screaming.
Yes.
So somebody's going to come around. They are just kids playing. Sometimes even the person that's taking off his or her clothes is even younger, and probably I just poured water on himself and has removed it. But because they've been trained that way, they'll be shouting. I think we have to make certain little things very weird for children, and they'll immediately react. You know, because I can't believe how anybody would expect that you would know. You can't know.
No.
You know.
Yes.
You can't know. But then, at what stage were you able to gather the courage and talk to somebody? What do you think triggered you to gather that courage to tell somebody?
I didn't really gather much courage, I would say. It was a lady, a family friend, who and she was fun to be with, you know. She fools around with all the kids, and it's like you can't even tell. She was much like taller than we were, but you see her doing the same things that we're doing, you know, and cracking jokes. And then sometimes she was like just sitting fat in front of you, and she was like, "Yeah, I did fat," and it made me feel comfortable, welcome around her. So it was just one day, and I was like, I just told her that this is what is happening to me. And she was
it
like,
the same
no.
person that kept repeating it?
No, there was a family friend who I confided in.
Okay.
Yeah, so that made
No, I
me.
mean, the number of times it happened. Was
Number
it
of
from the
times it
same
happened.
person?
Oh no, it was different relatives of mine. Yeah, it was like this person comes during the holidays, and this person comes, maybe he's going to school around, so it's like he has to stay around, or he maybe he doesn't have accommodation where he's staying, so he comes around. Yeah, so it was just periods over the 5 years. You have this happening. Yeah.
So when you were able to feel comfortable around your family friend, and you told her, how did she approach your parents with it? How did she handle the whole situation?
She was mad about it, and she told me that this is not supposed to be so. So she gathered the courage, brought me home, and decided to speak to one of my parents about it.
What was their reaction?
Okay, the day it happened, you know, I was like, when I came in, she said she wanted to see. We went in. I was like, she wants to see one of my parents, and then they went to the corner of the house and they were talking, and they spoke for a while. After some time, I heard that, "Oh, you're a bad person." And I was like, "Get out of my house!" And I was like, "Oh my God, this is what I did. I'm bringing division in my family. I have to keep quiet." And at that young age, I felt like it was my fault. At that young age, I felt like it was my fault for making that mess. It's like, if that wouldn't have happened, if I didn't say anything, if I had kept quiet, they wouldn't be fighting. It was a heated argument, you know. It was messy, and I was like, no, I'm not going to tell anybody again. So I just kept quiet.
So you kept quiet, and then it kept happening from there.
Yeah, and I just kept quiet. So we moved out.
Wow. Okay, I need to control myself because I'm losing it. How did you tell your parents about it?
Oh, when it happens like that, my dad came in. When I was a virgin by then. So when it happened like that, I started bleeding. So if in a few minutes time, and then my dad came home, and I told him. Immediately, he took me to the hospital so that when we went to the hospital, they gave me medication, took a test and everything was okay. So I told him immediately when he came in, because I was bleeding as I then. So
you were probably even afraid.
Yeah, I was afraid. So I was like, I was even thinking that I'm even hurt, and I don't even know that having something over there. I thought that place is closed. There's no way. Maybe it's only the wee that comes out, and I was the way the place was, that it felt very bad. I don't even remember how. I can't recall it.
It's fine. So they took you to the hospital and they made a police case out
Yes,
of
please.
it, right?
Yeah. So we looked for him everywhere. We couldn't find him.
Of course, he fled. He's very much aware of what he's done.
Yeah.
Why would he wait for
I
it to
could
come
see
back?
he started it during the school period. And I said, "Hey, Abigail, hey, you look beautiful. You're always beautiful among your
So that's some of the
friends."
red flags.
Yes. But I was very quiet. So I was, hey, when he tells me that I look beautiful, I began like, he's flattering my head. And when I'm working with my friends, I'll be like, hey, this teacher says I'm always beautiful. I'm this, I'm that. So I thought it was he's just someone that he needed me. He wanted me to be higher, and then he wanted me to be the best among my friends. That was what I was thinking.
Well, if you are watching and you are a young person, whether a man or a little or a young man or a young lady, please look at some of these red flags, okay? If there's somebody in the house, if there's a relative, a neighbor, a teacher, anybody around you in your daily life who is giving special attention to you, don't just get excited about it. Alert your parents about it, okay? These random things could build up to something else that may not necessarily be safe for you. And if it's not safe, at least your parents have an idea who was in, you know, those activities you've been mentioning, and they can help trace and hold the person responsible so you don't have to go through the experience again. And in your case, you gathered the courage to tell somebody around you. Dolores, you were able to tell somebody around you because, I mean, you were not able to face your parents immediately the thing happened. So if you're finding it difficult, you don't necessarily have to go to your parents if it's difficult for you. Find anybody you're comfortable with and confide in the person. That person will know that what you're going through is not right, and it will help you take it to the right authorities. In Abigail's scenario, she was able to, in your experience, be able to tell your father who took you through the whole procedure. So the rightful thing is to straight ahead report at the police station, get a test of evidence so that a physical examination can show that you were forcefully, you know, pushed into something of the sort or a sexual activity by somebody else, and then we can take the person on. And I'm so happy we're having this discussion because now there's so many things happening. For instance, now in homes we have young folks, you know, playing around and doing the quotes or unquotes, the mommy and papa games, you know, where little kids just feel like, oh, maybe they've seen a thing or two on TV or they've heard something of the sort. No, there's no kid, actually, because people are learning really fast. There's technology, so people are seeing things they're not supposed to see. Restrictions are hard, and then these kids are trying things that you shouldn't be trying at certain stages in their lives. And sometimes you find two children, like 8 and 6, or maybe the lady is 6 and the boy is 8. At that point, what sense do they have? But they are trying to have sex. And then if the little one of them goes to tell the parents, maybe they're not even sure what they're doing is wrong. So they'll maybe, hey, who for him? Oh, I went to Kwame, and Kwame put his finger or his thing here. Then the parents will beat the two of them. Or beat one person and leave the person who called who and beat the other person. You know, we don't know how to handle these things because we don't understand the psychological effects it can have on these kids. So do you advise that maybe we should have some counselors, because in Ghana, you know, we don't take those things serious. Yes. We are left to deal with everything on our own. In your case, did you have counselors to help you go through the experience? Do you think that counselors should help kids who also, you know, have some of these inappropriate experiences at a very tender age to also get help to recover?
Yeah, the parents can put in some effort too. You know, like you said, when it happens, instead of just beating this person, they should let them understand at that moment why they are beating them, or even, is it necessary to beat them? Educate them. Yeah. You should go on with the education. If it should happen, I see the importance in psychotherapy a lot. So if it should happen like that, let the child go for psychotherapy. It's very, very necessary, because that incident could be a trauma in the child's life in the future. So you see it like, oh, my child just went through this, it's normal. I've been through it, it's normal. It's not normal. So parents can do their own education at home, and then where they feel like they can't do it any longer, then involve another person.
All right. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
One is, the parent, as per se, they should know how to handle their children. When a child comes, like as an 8 years or 5 years child, and with this mama buying that about thing, and a child comes to tell you, oh ma, madam Friday is sharing her say, and Okasa, not as in when he came or she comes to tell you, immediately there you'll be beating him or her. No, you just have to talk to her. Hey, this place, it's a special place. Nobody is supposed to start there. This place is a special place. Or you know how to talk to the child. Oh, I love this place. You love this place. If someone touches here, you're going to get hurt. I have a sister, a nephew, which the daughter gets closer to me all the time. Always, they confide in me and talk to me because of my abuse. I do talk to them about it. And then I told them that when someone touches that place, it will get hurt, and then there'll be a sore, and there'll be this and that. So when they go out and then someone tells them, or someone tells them, Auntie Abigail, this place, hey, don't touch that place, don't do that, and they'll be like, oh, okay. So when they go to, I told him not to touch that place, not to do this, and then they'll be like, when they come out, like, hey, wow, that's my brave daughter. And then they'll be clapping. Sometimes I'll buy them toffee, something nice for them to be happy, and then they'll be like, so all the time they had something like that, they just come to me, Auntie Abigail, this and that, and I'm happy about that. Yeah. After that, even now they are 11 years, 10 years. So they confide in me, and they're happy. Even with the female ones and the male ones, they're all the same.
Great. Now, if you are watching, we have spoken about the numerous ways you can come out of your shell and share your experience. You're having a bad experience. We'll come back and continue this wonderful conversation. Stay with me. Welcome back to The Real Show. If you just joined in, you are still not too late because we're having a conversation about sexual abuse with Dolores and Abigail. And we have spoken about educating children and people around us so that they take better care of themselves. Now, let's look at how this has actually affected your life. How would you say it has affected you?
Okay, initially when the nightmare started, and I sought therapy at some point, but I couldn't continue. So it made me, through the therapy, I was diagnosed with major depression and then anxiety disorder. So it's like it was difficult for me to be around people because I didn't trust anybody around me. And I spent most of the time away at night. I just didn't want to stay home because I didn't want to go through another nightmare because I sleep and then I have nightmares. And my relationship with other people, kind of like, I always think that somebody has an ulterior motive for me, kind of like always on the edge. Yes, and it made me a lot jumpy. Yes, and I conclude on certain things, and I kind of like sabotage for myself actually sometimes. Yeah, so it did affect me, and yeah, in that way I would say so.
Super sorry about that. So Abigail, how has it affected you too?
It's affected me during my education because of the accident that happened. I had to think twice before going to school because every meal that I see teaching recalls me back and tells me that this man, because the other man was innocent, that we couldn't thought of. So I was like, anybody that comes around teaching, I'll be like, I don't feel like going to school. I stood home around for over 1 year. I don't feel like going to school. I was afraid. And I was thinking that maybe when my friends sees me, they'll be laughing at me. Meanwhile, we didn't tell any of them. It was between me and my dad and then my mom. We didn't tell anybody, but I was just feeling shy. So I had to come out myself just to make myself happy so that I can be okay. And especially the perfume that he used. Anytime that I hear that, I smell that perfumes, I just feel like, hey, this is the man. I'll be like, the way it recalls me, I don't feel okay. I wouldn't feel okay at that moment. So for maybe an hour, just for me to think back and then yes, please. That was what happens to me.
Do you think you loathe men because of this? As you hate men because of the experiences that you've had?
Yes,
do you find yourself doing that?
Yeah, I hate men, and because of that, I couldn't go into relationship. I became a tomboy, just because I don't want men just to have attention on me. I had to be a tomboy, be like, oh, yo, and all those stuff. And then when I was growing up, any of my relationships, there'll be a problem, fighting. When you try coming closer to me, I feel like you are trying to have the same thing with me, and then it will be like fighting and stuff. So anytime it happens like that, I have to withdraw back from the relationship and then be on myself, think twice before going. It affected me a lot.
But have you been able to have a stable relationship?
Yes, please.
Not for me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I always think that there's something more that they want from me. Yeah, so immediately the relationship starts, and then I kind of like lose interest because I feel like, okay, he wants sex, so anyway, let me look at what I have to do and then just forget about him. I don't put my all into it because I know that, okay, he's going to come and he's going to go, because I didn't just have one person abusing me. I had different people abusing me. So I was like, okay, he's going, he should go. Another person will come. So that is how I saw like relationship. You enter a relationship 1 month and then just kind of like, I feel you should go, and then next person should come. Yeah.
So what brought about Survivor's Diaries?
Okay, so I started it as it was just my advocacy page on Facebook. Yeah, that was just after I had attempted suicide, and then I saw the effect of what the abuse had done to me. So I started doing the advocacy on child sexual abuse. So I do the research and then I post. Then one day I came across side effects of childhood sexual abuse. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been going through. And I was like, I don't think I'm the only person in this world that is going through this thing. So I was like, okay, then let me do, even though I'm doing the advocacy on child sexual abuse, let me now look for those who have been sexually abused and they are adults battling with the side effects, and then try to help them, because I don't think it's a good thing living with those nightmares, living with the trauma, afraid that somebody's going to take advantage of you all that time. Yeah, so that's what moved me to like start the Survivors Diaries.
So that's the slogan, I must say,
Yeah.
reclaim hope.
Reclaim hope.
So how do you fund your activities?
So far, I've been the one funding it.
Wow. So then how are your activities being maintained if you're the only one funding? You definitely need the support.
So we have a support group, and since the pandemic, we have been doing it online.
Okay.
Yeah, we are partnering with the Unique Foundation. They are in the US. Yeah, and we are bringing the Finding Hope support group for the survivors. So they just join in on the Zoom, and then we have a community where they can easily open up, because in the room we have other survivors. So if you've not been able to tell anybody, you can share your story there, and then learn about how to cope with the side effects. So it doesn't take that much. Yeah, even though there's a lot we want to do in the future, but for now, we are just meeting online to have our discussions.
Great. Now, how will people donate to you if they want to support this great cause?
Okay, so they can do that through our Facebook page. We'll put our contacts and everything there, our details there.
So that's
they
Survivors
can do that.
Diaries
Yes.
on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay, so they can just
Survivors
set
Diaries
Survivors
Foundation.
Diaries Foundation.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're watching, this is The Real Show, and you can actually fund or support or donate, volunteer, any way you want to support this great cause. You can join this cause through searching for Survivors Diaries Foundation on Facebook, and you can donate whatever you can to support them. And if you're a survivor out there, you haven't been able to talk to anybody, you need a support group, this is the support group for you. And so you can search Survivors Diaries on Facebook, join a support group, and then you will have people who share their experiences and help bond and heal together, so that you can get over all the negative effects and move on and surge forward with your goals, knowing very well that what you've gone through is not the end of the world. Now, those having suicidal thoughts and all of that, when you find out, do you have a team that will help you as a psychologist or doctors, or some people that, you know, are more versed in the whole psychology of, you know, dealing with abuse and depression and all of that? You have a team that helps with that?
We had a couple of psychologists who we tried to refer some of our survivors to, but they didn't come through for us. So if there's any psychologists out there and they want to do voluntary work for us, we really appreciate it. We will want you to come and be part of our team to help us. And we are trying to partner with Win Glow. They are a psychological team, so they are a non-profit organization, and they did with suicidal teen disease as well. So we're trying to partner with them. So in case through any of our support groups, any survivor should display any of those thoughts of suicide, then we can easily reach out to them. And then, and if there are other NGOs and they'll want to be part of us as well, support us, we are ready to partner with you.
Definitely. So if you're an NGO out there, an individual, anyone at all out there who is willing to support the Survivors Diaries Foundation, please, you are welcome. Just search Survivors Diaries Foundation on Facebook. There's contact and details for everything that you need, so that you can come on board and support this great cause. Now, we are going straight to the phone line. So if you are watching The Real Show, you can call in and share your views, add up some information that we can learn from, ask your questions, or even share your experience if you're a survivor who wants to motivate others as well. The number is 055 008 9807. The number should be on the screen. Just calling and you would have the chance to join in the conversation. Now, how do you motivate yourself, you in person? Because looking at the struggle and what you've gone through, battling suicide, depression, you know, all those times you face your fears by smelling the perfume, seeing men try to get closer to you and all of that. How do you keep yourself going?
Okay, so since I started this project, I have met wonderful survivors, and sometimes I have one lady, I call her the positive Dora.
Hold on to the positive Dora.
Yeah,
we have a caller, so we'll be back to continue that. Hello?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling in The Real Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm Aduna calling from Zakuma.
Thank you, Aduma. What would you have for us, Aduma?
Okay, I'm Abna, sorry.
Sorry, Abna. All right, Abna, we are all ears.
Okay, first of all, I want to really applaud you for holding this particular and this special topic tonight.
Thank you so much, Abna.
Yeah, it's very educative. Personally, I don't have anything to share, but I just want to applaud you. It is very, 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 very educative topic. And I want you to explain it more to other people that have suffered and that have gone through this, that will learn a lot from. And I pray that people will come on board to support this
Amen.
course.
Amen.
So congratulations to everything you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yes, we are super grateful for having you on board, Dolores and Abigail. And we are super grateful once again for educating us and sharing your experience. It's a very bold thing to do because not everybody is even able to come out and share with a friend. How much more come on TV to motivate others? Okay, sorry, we have another caller. So hold on to that thought. Hello.
Yeah, hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, my name is Patrick. I'm calling from Tema.
Okay, Patrick, what do you have for us, please?
Yeah, Dolores, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, this is Patrick Tema.
Patrick.
Tema.
Yeah, Patrick in Tema. Yeah.
Alien.
Yeah. What's up?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie, I've been following you, man. Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you.
And it's good, at least you're surviving these things and helping others to also survive, man. God bless you, right?
Amen.
And I urge everybody to, support your endeavors. And what do you know? You might end up saving lots of lives, 1 million or perhaps 1 trillion. God bless you all.
God bless you
Thank
too.
you.
Yay. Thank you, Patrick. All right. So you were saying.
Yeah, so I was talking about positive Dora.
Definitely.
And then sometimes I reach a roadblock and I was like, I can do this. And she was like, Dolores, you can do it. You can do it. So what did you do and it didn't work? And I tell her that, oh, this is what I did. Okay, have you tried it this way? I say, yeah, I didn't try it that way. And it's kind of like, it has motivated me. And I have this funny lady too. Yeah, she's always making me laugh. And when I meet survivors and they are able to tell them my story and they open up, and then they tell me that what I'm doing is really good because they've not been able to tell anybody or they have told only one person their whole life. It kind of like motivates me to like move on to like get more people to help them. Yes. And then when I get feedback, I have a lady who joined our previous last year's support group and I kept...
Sorry, please hold on with that. All right. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Like get more people to help them. Yes.
Can you hear me, please?
Good evening.
Good evening, dear. Your name or where you're calling from, please?
I'm calling from Northern region.
Okay, dear. Please, what do you have for us?
Please, I'm just going to encourage you. Your program. I'm just going to encourage you. Your program is going well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is a very positive thing. Thank you so much. Oh, that was good. We are getting a lot of encouragement. So you said this is a great course. I mean, I'm sure you know because you are saving lives. And you had to save yourself and now you're saving other people. Amazing. Hello, who's on the line, please?
Yeah, this is Abdurrahman Edusebonsu.
Abdurrahman Edusebonsu. Wow, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Amprobi.
Okay, what do you have for us, my dear?
Oh, okay. What I want to say, what you are doing is a nice program, and I'm praying that most people will be contributing to what you are doing so that you move forward.
Amen. Thank you so much. So you had a positive Dora in your corner.
Yes. And
right.
I have my funny Abigail.
Yes, I'm still trying to get a laughter out so you feel okay.
And then when I get feedback from the support group and I see how they didn't know how to cope with the abuse, how they cope with the trauma, knowing what triggers are, and how they behaved certain ways. And I get the feedback from them. I get a positive feedback that the thing is working for them. It motivates me to even go even further ahead.
All right, we have a caller on the line. Hello.
Hello, yeah, I'm Michael.
Hi, Michael. Good evening.
Good evening.
What do you have for us, please?
Yeah, the program is interesting, and I just want to share something I experienced some time ago.
Great.
Yeah, when I was with like I went to stay with my uncle, and like it seems like I guess my own my uncle's daughter, like I just like the girl so much that I don't know, I was just developing some interest, and I don't know whether it was love or something of that sort. So I was having then thoughts in my mind. I don't know whether it's normal or abnormal, and I don't know, like I do text the girl certain times, like how I feel about it and stuff. And it was trying to just be something, and I guess I feel nah, I didn't because I don't know what will happen. So I just need to just take a bold step and leave the house and rent a place myself and stay because I don't want anything to happen of that sort.
Sorry, how old is she?
Oh, she's right now she's 24.
Oh, okay.
24, yeah.
Well, Michael, that was a bold step. And we are human beings. Sometimes we go out of our way to do things that we know may not necessarily be right. Or when we start to sense or we get hints of something that could go wrong, the best thing to do is to flee. The Bible says you should flee from temptation before you mess up somebody else's life and even yours. And so that was a great move. Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing with us. No. So, okay. What did you say?
I said that was very bold of him.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely. It's okay to understand your weakness and deal with it first so you don't hurt the next person. That's exactly what he's done. I hope that if you're listening and you've had that experience, do the same as well. We'll be back. Still hold on to that thought. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Francis. I'm calling from Nungwa, Accra.
Thanks for calling, Francis.
I think I would like to thank the two ladies that they've done a very good job, and I want them to keep it up. A lot of ladies are really going through a lot, but they are not bold enough to come forward to inform the public so that the young ones would also learn from and then also be cautioned into going to such acts. So I think it's a good program, and we are always ready to support. Keep it up. I don't know their names anyway, but
She is Dolores and she is Abigail.
oh, Abigail.
And the name of the foundation is Survivors Diaries Foundation. So you can check on Facebook to get their contact and details and support as well.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. So you had Abigail, you are motivated by people's feedback, survivors' feedback, how it supported and helped your journey. And you had positive Doris, right? Okay, hello, Dora. Hello, dear. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
My name is Antoinette. I'm calling from Banana Inn.
I think Dolores can already tell who it is.
Okay.
Please, what do you have for us tonight? Hello? Okay, you could recognize who it was, huh? Who was it then? Your neighbor. Oh, this is beautiful. And that's very supportive of them, you know, for people around you to know that you're on the show and watch and listen and all of that. Now, let's talk to Abigail. How have you motivated yourself? Apart from making other people laugh, how do you get to laugh as well?
I do motivate myself with music and jokes. Yes,
Okay.
I do love music.
All right, we'll be back. Please hold on to that thought. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Mukhtar and I'm calling from Yendi.
Great. What do you have for us tonight?
Yes, this is a great show, the real show, for real, like, I love it. I love it. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You see this rape issue,
Yes.
sometimes I am a man though, but when I see a man raping a lady, sorry to say, I say they are animals. You understand?
Yes.
I've seen people, like, I've heard stories from friends. Even the girl I am with now, she has gone through a lot of those stuff. She still has a friend who tries to do that to her. So anytime she's going to the guy, I'm angry, I'm mad, I tell her not to go and stuff. You know, those people are very dangerous. All the time I tell her, if they don't get what they want, they can hurt you, they can kill you. Yeah. Maybe in the process of struggling, you can hit your head on the wall, on the chair, and you get hurt. You know, we have to all stand up and fight for these people, for real, like, and the ladies too should speak up. We are always scared. We are in an age that our parents will not beat us for saying the truth, for fighting for ourselves. You should say it. The ladies should just say it and receive the banter from the society, but just say the truth. Because those people are very dangerous. Men that harass or whatever they call it, rape women, are too dangerous. For real. But I love the show. I love the show. And the ladies too, Charlie. I mean, come. When I heard the story, like, I nearly wept. I nearly wept. Both of them. And the other one, the dark one, sorry. She has gone through a lot. Really? You give them the opportunity to do what they want to do with their body? Wow. You're a great woman. You're a great woman. Both of you, for real. Yes. You have to speak to your children. You have to bring up better children in the future. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. And actually, I love the addition, you know. People shouldn't take this as a joke at all, because apart from even the sexual abuse and the emotional, psychological, spiritual, all that effect it can have on you, you can actually get hit, even to the point of death. If there's struggle, like you said, your head could hit the wall. There are some people, even during the struggle, they get angry and then they can hurt you. Let's pick the last call. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Eno. I'm up here. I don't tell her. I'm watching at home.
Okay. What do you have for us tonight?
All I want to say is you guys are doing very well.
Thank you.
And that I'm talking to you now.
Oh, the line is bad. Okay, so I think that's the last caller for the day. We were talking to Abigail about how she gets through it, right? Okay.
Mine was music and then jokes. I do like music during school, anytime, wherever I hear music, I have to be okay or create jokes for myself, just to be okay, not to think about those past. Yeah, so that is what I have been doing to motivate myself, and then that was what I was doing.
All right, great. So like you heard, if you know anybody that's, you know, had this experience, please motivate them, give them positive energy. Like she had positive Dora in her corner. Try and make people laugh, like Abigail was helping her laugh. Music, you know, all the things that make you feel at home and comfortable can actually help make you feel better. And talking about music, a big thank you to those of you who have been streaming my first single, Odor. It's still on all platforms. My artist name is Met, M-E-T, so you can stream on all platforms. Now, we have been live on Metro TV Ghana, and this amazing show, the best Friday night show that goes beyond the borders of Ghana to the world. The Real Show is a show that if you miss, we still let you catch up with a repeat the following day. So tonight, tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. same time, you can catch a repeat or catch a repeat on our Facebook Live, The Real Show. Thanks for staying with me. Have a lovely weekend.